A 10 to 20-year prison sentence handed down to a Scottsbluff man for his role in a shots fired investigation. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, a 32-year-old Scottsbluff man has been sentenced to prison for his role in a March 2022 shots-fired investigation in Gering. Leonard Gonzalez and his brother Anthony were arrested last year following an altercation that ended in the Fresh Foods parking lot and the discharge of a gun. In April, he pleaded no contest to a Class 1D felony charge of felon in possession of a firearm and a Class 2A felony charge of attempted first-degree assault. Yesterday, District Judge Leo Dobrovony sentenced Gonzalez to 5 to 10 years in prison on each count, which will run consecutive to each other. Anthony Gonzalez pleaded no contest to his charges last year and was sentenced to 4 to 8 years in prison. Well, a South Dakota woman facing a variety of criminal charges for stealing a pickup from a Scottsbluff bar and leading law enforcement on a high-speed chase in February has been sentenced. 24-year-old Ashley Flood led police on a pursuit in a stolen vehicle with speeds reaching 95 miles per hour before she returned to the scene of the crime. In March, Flood pleaded guilty to charges of theft by unlawful taking and operating a motor vehicle to avoid arrest, and in exchange for her plea, 2 other misdemeanor charges were dismissed. Last week, she was sentenced to 90 days in jail with a full 90 days credit for time already served. We'll have more news right after this.
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
This isn't just a beautiful hospital. It's the home to exceptional patient care. This is where specialty clinics meet your needs. This is where a friendly smile, a warm hand, and an empathetic ear exist to care for you. This is us. Box Butte General Hospital. Great things are happening here.
Welcome back. It's been 6 months since Kevin Spencer was selected as Scottsbluff City Manager after filling the role on an interim basis. During a council meeting earlier this month, he was up for his first performance review, which all in all was very positive.
I think overall you're doing a great job. I've seen no issues. I haven't had any concerns or complaints really from the community. I do get an earful sometimes going to Walmart, but no, I've heard nothing bad, so everything's good. I'm impressed so far.
Yeah, I think you're doing a great job. The only things I noted, and you saw this already, was just continuing to communicate about that transition plan, whatever that looks like for the police chief and your current position. And so I think as long as you have a plan, I think we trust that you are doing that. I thought what you shared was very positive, and I think just continue to communicate with people.
Yeah, Chief. I really like your motto of people first and having a mission. I could see a drastic change in the morale at the City Hall and the city staff, and like Betsy said, I'll echo that. Talking to department heads, they're in a different presence of mind than they were a year ago.
Explaining to someone the other day what my experience on council has been in the last year, I was able to say that it has been much more of a smooth and harmonious time than it may have been previously. It feels like there's a sense of calm that pervades things, a sense of reasonableness, but also a high level of accomplishment and achievement.
I think you've done a great job managing your time between both positions. We work close together, so I know that you spend your time half here and half at the police station. And I can see that you're continuing to build those strong relationships with the staff and the community members, which has been really positive.
The one consensus was that Spencer did need to work on better balancing his work life with his personal life so he doesn't get burned out, but the council says they have seen great strides since Spencer took the reins. With a bill giving taxpayers a partial income tax break for contributions towards scholarships for kids to attend a qualified nonprofit private elementary or secondary school was signed by Governor Jim Pillen. After 2 hours of debate last week, lawmakers voted 33-11 to give the final approval to the Opportunity Scholarships Act. However, Omaha Senator John Kavanaugh continued his opposition to the measure, asking whose opportunity are we talking about?
It creates a preferred tax structure where people do get to direct their tax dollars to a specific scholarship fund that funds institutions. And then those scholarship funds and institutions get to receive that money, and they get to choose whether or not they accept a student. They get to choose which students they want.
Tax credits of up to half a taxpayer's income tax liability will be available for tax years starting in 2024 and initially capped at $25 million with a tiered system of scholarship priorities favoring students in low-income families. And a lawsuit has been filed in Lancaster County District Court claiming the recently enacted law containing more restrictive abortion limits and a ban on youth gender transition surgery runs afoul of the Nebraska Constitution. The American Civil Liberties Union and their Nebraska chapter are assisting Planned Parenthood of the Heartland and Dr. Sarah Traxler, the Chief Medical Officer of Planned Parenthood North Central States and an abortion provider. In the suit, they're going against Governor Jim Pillen, Attorney General Mike Hilgers, and several officials with the Department of Health and Human Services. The groups are seeking a court order blocking enforcement of the new restrictions and declaring them unconstitutional on the basis that they pertain to two distinct subjects. Language from the Nebraska State Constitution is at the heart of the suit, specifically the clause that says, quote, "No bill shall contain more than one subject."
It's time for the recycling game. Question 1. Where do you recycle old electronics in the Tri-City area?
The Environmental Services at 609 East 2nd Street.
Correct. Question 2. Where can you find recycling trailers?
Trailers can be found in Gearing and Terrytown.
Correct. Final question. How can you dump recyclables and not have to sort them?
The Free Stream Recycle Bins from the city.
That's correct. You just won a cleaner and happier city, brought to you by Tri-City Stormwater.
For this week's featured Pet of the Week, we meet Rogue, an 18-month-old retriever lab mix that's been at the Humane Society since early May. Staff says he's a big boy that has a lot of love to offer. They say Rogue's ideal home would be with someone who is used to a big, drooling, bouncing, playful, cuddly, bed-hogging dog because he is all of that and more. His adoption cost is $150, and that includes his neuter, microchipping, and all vaccinations. Plus, whoever adopts Rogue will also receive a $25 Murdoch's gift card to start spoiling him right away.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
Let's take a look at your midweek community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit, based in Alliance, Nebraska, is the only intercity bus serving Nebraska Panhandle communities and Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Panhandle Trails operates a regularly scheduled bus service, assisting you in making connections with Greyhound bus partners, regional airports, healthcare, employment and education opportunities, shopping, family, friends, and more. Panhandle Trails serves the general public of all ages and offers accessible transportation for those with special mobility needs. Let Panhandle Trails help you make your connection. Call 308-761-8747.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you plan for tomorrow while you enjoy today. Our personalized trust services can help you do just that. You've worked hard to build your legacy, and you want to make sure that gets passed on for generations to come. We offer the professional guidance necessary to ensure that happens, according to your wishes. We pride ourselves in being friendly and professional while offering a highly tailored full line of trust and estate planning services to accommodate you. You belong here.
And finally tomorrow, the Theater West Summer Repertory will kick off its 2023 season. The Marvelous Wonderettes will open Thursday evening in the Judy Chalupka Theater at WNCC. The show takes you down memory lane, where the four main characters serenade the crowd with classic hits from the 1950s. The show will run Thursday through Saturday this week and next week, with 2 Saturday performances slated for June 10th. The other shows for this season will include the classic version of The Odd Couple, a female version of The Odd Couple, as well as Guys and Dolls. For showtimes and tickets, you can call the box office at 635-6193. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.